Hi guys, welcome back to the next episode in our Battle Royale survival tutorial series. In the last episode we set up our second character, which I used a female, and we set up the animations with the animation blueprint. I did run into a little issue where I didn't rename one of the bones, but I got that fixed. That was inside my female base mesh, and if I double click the base mesh we can click on our skeleton, and yeah, give me just a second. So here is our skeleton here. The problem I had was I targeted the right lower arm to the left forearm when it should have been the right forearm. I did put it in an annotation within the video just to tell you guys what it was I had done wrong, but yeah, the hand kind of deformed a little bit, as you can imagine. So I got that sorted. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to start setting up our actual main menu, and we will also introduce some new mesh for some new clothing. So let's go to our main menu in UI, and we want to open up our main menu and then go back, and we also want to open up our character select. So inside the character select menu, click the top here and go to custom. It was already set to full screen, so we click the top, go to custom, and we want to set it to 400 by 650. Okay, now I get the 650 height from the options menu, so it's the exact same height here, and it's 400 across. Okay, so to save a little bit of time, rather than creating a new piece of UI background and things like that, I'm just going to use our old one. So if, to begin with, we just type in image, and we drag this down into the canvas panel, and if we click on the image, we can anchor it across the entire screen, and then just zero out our offsets. And if we go to the image, we can type in content background, and this will give us the content background that we use for our options menu. Okay, so let's just compile and save this just now, and if we head back into our main menu, we can then start setting up the actual widget for it. So if we drag in another horizontal box, so let's drag this down onto our canvas panel, and let's rename this horizontal box our character box. Okay, and up the top here, if we click as variable, this will allow it to appear over here in our graph. Okay, and we can access this from our graph. So the next thing we want is our user created, and we want the character select user created widget. And if we just drag that down into the character box, just the same thing we done with the options menu. Okay, now we have this set up, and we can see our widget is our horizontal box is actually anchored to the top left, so let's just anchor that to the center of the screen. Okay, and if we zero out the position for now, you see it here, and the size is going to be the exact same size as here. So in the X we want it to be 400, and in the Y let's set it to 650. Okay, now you can see it's a little bit offset, so if we click our alignment and set this to 0.5 by 0.5, okay, and that aligns it to the center, and if we just move the position X until it lines up, yeah, I'd say about maybe there, yeah, like that. Okay, now if we click the character select widget underneath our character box, we then have to hit fill, and this fills the entire horizontal box. Okay, so if we compile and save this, and because the character box is set to self-hit test invisible, when we press play we can see it right away. Okay, and I like the way that is positioned beside the character like this. You can obviously position it wherever you want. You can put it over here if you prefer it over this side. I'm just going to leave mine here just for quickness. But right now, obviously, when we click our options, this still stays. We want that to disappear when we hit our options menu. So let's head on over here, and let's go to our graph. And we see we set up this options menu visibility to true and character menu visibility to true in a previous episode. So what we want to do is we want to duplicate both of these set visibilities. Just drag them over here. And just drag that in there. And drag that into there. Now, for the target for these, we want this to be our new, where is it? Character box. Okay. So let's just drag that to there. And we'll drag another one into here. Okay. That'll do it. I'm just going to extend this a little bit. And this too. Now, when our options button is clicked, we want our options box to be visible, and we want our character box to be hidden. Okay. And now over here, when we click the character button, we want the options box to be hidden, and the character button to be visible. So the character box to be visible. Okay. Let's compile and save this. And when we press play, we can see we have the box up as default. We hit the options, the box disappears, and we get our options menu. We hit our character again, and the character menu comes back up again. Okay. This is what I want. I want the actual character menu to appear as soon as they load into the main menu. If you wanted it different, you could have something else here rather than just the box for the character. But for now, this is fine for me. Okay. So let's just quit that. Now, let's compile and save and head over to our character select. So inside our character select box, we want to start putting in some customization buttons. So the first thing we want is a, let's put in a vertical box. Okay, and just drag that into our canvas panel. In the vertical box, we want to fill the entire box and just remove the offsets. Okay, so it fills the entire box, and we can start positioning things vertically down this box. Okay, so for here we now want some horizontal boxes, so we can have buttons that we can switch between. So let's add in our first horizontal box, and we just want to pop that into our vertical box. In this horizontal box, we want to be centered, maybe. No, this is fine. Okay, so the padding top, I'm going to set this to 10. Just bring it down a little bit. And we want to add in some buttons and things here now. So if we click on here, we want to add in button. We want 2 buttons. So there's our first one, and there's a second one. Okay, and in between these buttons, we want an image. Okay, there we go. So the image, let's just see. Let's try 100 by 100. That's maybe a little too much. Let me see, hang on. So if we have 650 and we need, where's our character? So we need one for the base mesh, so we can swap out the pawn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's just set this to, let's say 60 by 60. Okay, we can adjust this later, but we'll see if that works. Okay, and now what we want to do, let's center this out. So this is the horizontal box, let's center it out. And our button, so this will be our button left. We'll change the name in just a second. So we need some text in here. So let's drop some text into our buttons. Okay. And if we click on the text block, let's just do the less than sign, and the other text block, the greater than sign. And this will give us buttons that we can toggle at either side of the image. Okay. I think maybe we need a little bit of space in between these. So if we grab our image, go to padding, padding left we can say 10, and padding right 10. Okay. Okay, I think we want a little bit of padding on this as well, so let's go for the top. We'll say let's go with 10, and padding bottom 10 as well, and then do the same for the other button, so top 10, bottom 10. Okay, let's have a look and see how that looks. Okay, it's okay, but yeah, I think this will do for now. Okay. You can obviously customize this as much as you like. I'm just going for something that's pretty simple so we can get straight into the functionality and show you guys how to actually do it. So this horizontal box, this is going to be our pawn horizontal box. So let's rename this change pawn box. Okay, and the button, this is our change pawn left toggle. The image is fine, that's just a we need to change this as well, so this is our pawn image, and make sure that is set to variable. And then this button here, we need to call this CP right toggle. Okay, so now that we have this, we have both our buttons set up, we have an image that we can change out at any point, and we have a pawn box. So we need to duplicate this 5 times. So let's copy and just paste it into the vertical box. So the duplication is actually going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pawn, hair, top, bottoms, shoes. I think that's them all. Yeah. Pawn, bottoms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's it. I actually thought there was more than that. Okay, so as you can see, we have a little bit more room to play with than I initially thought. So I think I'm going to grab this first one. We'll click on the image, and let's try 80. Yeah, that seems a bit better. So let's remove this and duplicate this one. Yeah, that's better. So now the next horizontal box, I think, let's actually go to the top horizontal box and we'll take this padding down a little bit more. So we'll drop that to 20, and we can drop this one to 20. Let's just drop them all to 20. Just so it spaces them out a little bit more. Yeah, okay. We could maybe take this down a little bit more. Let's actually say 30 for them all. Yeah, I like that. So compile and save, and you can have a look. Okay, that'll work. Now what we need is some new mesh. So let's compile and save this just now. Let's actually just rename all this before we go any further. So this top one here, we will change this to our hair, change hair box. Okay, and let's just drop this down and copy this. So change your box, the button will be the CH left toggle, and the other button will be CH right toggle, and the image will be our hair image. And let's just collapse those two again. Let's go to this one. This one will be our tops. So change top left toggle. Let's actually change the box as well. So change top box. And the image will be change. Actually, just the top image, and the button CT right toggle. Okay, and this one will be our bottoms. So change bottoms box, and this button will be our CB left toggle, CB right toggle, and the image is just our bottoms image. Okay, and the last one, our shoes. So change shoes box, and the button will be CS left toggle, and the bottom button will be your CS right toggle, and the image will be shoes image. Okay, so now that we have all of this renamed and ready to go, we have pawn, hair, top, bottom, shoes. Okay, let's compile and save this. So we now need actual images to place into these boxes. Now if we remember, these are 80 by 80 boxes, so we need to take screen caps of our images and take them into Photoshop and resize them to 80 by 80. Okay, so I'll do the first couple and then I'll let you guys finish off by doing it yourself. So if I go to the character, so for quickness, I'm just going to go to my male character and I'm going to keep the base mesh. So let's just create some more mesh for us. And how I'm going to do that, I'm just going to swap out the materials so that it looks as if we've got some new clothes. So the first one I'll do is the tops. It's the easiest to do. So let's grab the top and just duplicate this. I'm not sure, I think I mean, yeah I do. So let's grab this, delete this. So let's duplicate both of these. Okay. And let's rename this to top 002. Okay, and let's find the other physics asset, this one here. So let's rename this, let's remove the 2 that's at the end, and then go to here and say 002. So now we have male top 001, top 002, and the physics here for it as well. And as you can see, it's the exact same. So what we need to do is, if we open this up, let's just dock it at the top here, and we need to set a new material for it. So let's go to our materials and let's find our top 001 material, and if we duplicate this, we now have top 002. So let's just hit enter, and let's just drag, yeah, let's just open this up again. Okay, and for this I'm just simply going to add a multiply onto our diffuse color. So let's just drag this out a little bit, and if you hold in 3 we can bring up a constant vector 3. Okay, and then just hold M, you can bring in a multiply, and let's grab this here and take this down to B, and this can go into our base color. Okay, now if we click the constant, we can set this to say white and hit OK, and just give it a save. We may actually have to change this to a value, so multiply this by a specific value so it brightens it up a little bit, but let's just have a look and see. So we have our top 002 here. Let's change this to our male 001 top 002 material. As you can see, it didn't really do anything, so that means we need to do something a little bit different here. So if we drag this out here and we bring in another multiply and just drag this to the top, drag this to B, and if we bring in a constant vector 1, okay, and just drag that in there, we can adjust this to say 5, and what this will do is it will brighten this colour by a power of 5, so it'll be white times 5 and it will brighten it right up, and then we are plugging that into the multiply, so it's multiplying the original colour by whatever we have here. So if we save this, okay, and head back to here, there doesn't seem to be much difference, even though it looked like a change inside here. Let's actually head over to our character and see if it did add anything to it. So let's open up the base character and go to the viewport and go to the top, and let's just test this new top. Compile, save, and play. You can see it is slightly lighter, so we need to go a little bit lighter again. So let's head back over to our material and we'll change this to say 10. So we'll double it and save this out again. Okay, and now when we hit play, we have a lighter top again. Now we can keep on going whiter and whiter and whiter until we get the shade that we actually like. But when you find something that you like, obviously use that instead. You may actually want to swap out the mesh rather than just change the material. But for now this is fine for me. What we will do then is we will then take this top that we have and take a picture of it. So okay, so I'm actually just going to use this view right here. So going into the actual top itself, and I have lightened up the texture for us. If we go to the snipping tool, and if I just give it a second to get a pose that I like. Okay, and I think I'll just drag that to here and about there, and just take a snip of this like so, and I'll just save this out. For now I'll put it into my tutorials, assets, and let's just call this grabs. Okay, and I'll call this male 001 top 002. Okay, so I now have my first top. I'll drag this over to the other screen just now, and let's actually head over and grab the original. So let's go to male and tops and grab the black top and do the exact same so that we have two different versions of the top, and try and get as close to the same stance as you possibly can. Okay, that looks fine. And here, that will do. So just drag that out to here, like so, and save this out as mail001. So obviously you guys can go in and take your pictures yourself, and there's no point in me going through each piece of clothing that I've created and showing you how to take a snip from that. And what I will do though is I will open up Photoshop and show you how to resize this. Okay, and after we resize all our images to 80 by 80, we will create image arrays, and these image arrays will be called on to input a specific index number depending on which button we click. So it will start off at 0, so our base clothing, and then we can press the toggle and it will change the piece of clothing in the image. And while it changes the piece of clothing in the image, we also want it to change the clothing on the actual pawn himself. And further into that, we will then start saving out this information so that it can be brought back in every time you restart the game. And also when you go to the lobby, we want everything to carry over with you. Okay, so let's just show you how to do this quickly in Photoshop. Okay, so now I'm just going to click open and find the directory that I saved the grabs. So if I go to the grabs and I go to the first one, so the top 001, open this up. And the first thing I want to do is cut everything out of the background. So if we just go to our, we can either use the magic wand or the quick selection, it'll all depend on the actual image. For now I think the magic wand is fine, so if we just click on the t-shirt itself, okay, and if we click the selection marquee at the top and just right click, we want to select inverse, and this will select everything that is outside the t-shirt, and we just want to delete this. Actually, let's create the layer from background first, and then when we delete it, it gives us the alpha state in the background. Okay, and rather than an alpha state, I'm just going to create a new one. So if I use the marquee and then right click, and let's create a fill, so we need a new layer, drag this below the t-shirt, right click, fill. It's originally going to fill with black, but if we right click here, go to blending options, I'll bring the blending options over so you can see them, and if we hit gradient, and then just adjust the gradients so that it's something a little more to our liking. I think I need something like this for the bottom, and for the top let's go with something a little bit lighter. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Okay. Now if we go to our image, you can change the image size and the canvas size. So let's click the first one, and let's just see how it looks by clicking 80. Okay, so that's 80 by 86. Okay, and that's because this is locked. If we change this to 80 by 80 and press OK, it resamples it for us. And let's just zoom in to make sure that looks okay. Okay, that's fine. And then just save this out. And I'll go to Assets and click on Folder, Clothing Images. Okay, and this one is male 001, top 001, and press save. Okay, so now if you do this with the rest of them, and we can load in the images here. What I'll actually do here is just quickly show you what it looks like by adding in the default image. So if I go to assets, sorry, wrong one, clothing, you can see it's a PSD, so to limit the actual size of the file, I'm going to go to save as and just save this out as a JPEG, because we don't actually need the alpha channel on it, so we don't need the PNG. So let's just save this out as a JPEG, and now we have this JPEG here. And I'm just going to drag that into the, sorry, that's the wrong one. Okay, we need our UI textures. Okay, and drag this into the UI textures. Okay, minimize this. We now have this UI textures. And if I go to the character select, let's just grab the second one because the top one will be our pawn. And we'll just type in male 001. Let's see if we can find it. Male 001, top 001. Okay. And let's compile and save this and see how it looks. So yeah, we now have our first image in, and by clicking these toggles we'll be able to swap out the images. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this episode. For the next episode, if everyone could create their own clothing and take pictures of it to place inside here when we set up our arrays. Okay, so thank you for joining us, and I'll see you in the next one.